In full disclosure, I know Heather because I was chief of staff to Senator Manchin, and it's a tough position to be in. When you're a company and you're trying to make the argument, as Heather was, that somehow the rising prices was because of the healthcare crisis, it just doesn't really go far enough to explain the situation. And so I think the senator is in this difficult spot because it's his daughter, but at the same time it's a serious issue where he's going to be used as kind of a political punching bag, especially going into his next election, which is in for another couple of years. So it's a tough spot for him to be in. I have to believe that they're going to take a little bit more of an aggressive role, because no company wants to be a political issue, and you don't want to be a political issue in this presidential election. And
knowing her, how do you judge her response yesterday? Speaking to CNBC, she was expressing frustration, saying the system is broken. Yet look at her pay. We're talking about a 600% increase as well. So many questions being raised.
Well, as someone who advises companies and others in terms of how to deal with crises and PR crises like this, I would not give them a great grade in terms of the response. I will give free advice to every company out there. In a situation like this, you never somehow blame someone else. You've got to take some degree of responsibility. You've got to own the problem and make it clear about what you're going to do to fix it. Suggesting that there is a healthcare crisis that is explaining or justifying this doesn't pass the laugh test, I think, with most people.
So what do you think happens? Will they have to cut prices? Will they have to go further than this discount effectively that they're offering on some of the EpiPens?
I mean, the problem with the EpiPen is you're talking about a product that everyone can, regardless of what education level, regardless of whether they know anything about business, they all get it. Someone's in a moment of crisis, they need it to survive. And so when you're talking about that kind of a product, raising prices so a family can't afford them, as there's some of the stories about the price going up to $1,500 in order for them to have a supply of them for their child, that's a dangerous place for a company to be. I can't imagine they're not going to drop the prices more, because this is going to grow. You're going to see this become a congressional issue. It's going to become a presidential issue. You don't want to be in that storm if you're a company.